This is the concierge, sir.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Concierge Confidential. I'm your host, Brian Ortega, and it is winter time in Vegas, if you haven't noticed. I've actually got an influx of requests of people coming in to Vegas during December, which, I mean, if you're going to be in Buffalo, New York, why be there when you can be in the fabulous city of Las Vegas? So I thought this would be a good time to sort of brush up on all of our holiday offerings, which Vegas has really become like a really great like winter wonderland if you're in the desert. Obviously, we don't have snow, but you can pay for that and have it, brought to Las Vegas. But with a new attraction just opened this year, and with a couple other sort of mainstays of the wintertime calendar in Las Vegas, I thought it'd be fun to kind of go over some of these event type things that you can do for wintertime, and maybe kind of just give you the pricings and outlines of what all this stuff is going to cost, sort of what is included, and a couple of my recommendations. So everybody stick around. This is the Winter Wonderland episode of Concierge Confidential. Hey everybody, just wanted to make sure that you guys knew about my new podcast out. It's called The Magic of Movies, a film podcast where I talk about all my favorite movies, the movies out in theaters or streaming, and I also talk about the Oscar race going on right now. So make sure to check it out. It'll come out once a week, and that'll be on the Magic of Movies podcast feed, wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, everybody, so let's go ahead and dive into our Winter Wonderland episode. So there's going to be three major attractions that I'm going to talk about today. One of them being the ice rink at the Cosmopolitan, which is a mainstay of the Las Vegas Strip now. I can't even tell you how many years it's been here. And then the Enchanted Christmas Experience, which that's more of a local thing, but very, very big. And it's really good, especially if you have smaller children, or if you're just, a couple that wants to get away from the Strip, or you're a local that wants to go do something out in the town that is winter festival-y, that would be the Enchanted Christmas over at the Las Vegas Ballpark. And the new one, which is the Oasis Ice Rink at the Fontainebleau Las Vegas, near and dear to my heart because I love the Fontainebleau. This is really one of the larger ice rinks in the city that isn't, where the Golden Knights play. But it is very large. It also has a bunch of different activations. They also have, holiday movies. They have fire pits, all this other good stuff. So let's go ahead and dive into the Fontainebleau, because that's the one I really wanted to kind of talk about today. So the one at Fontainebleau is very large. It takes place on at their pool, or their pool deck. So they say it has over 8,000 square feet of ice rink, which is gigantic. So they actually have two ice rinks. I believe they have one that's like a really long one, and they also have one that's just sort of like a giant square. But it's open to the public. If you're staying at the hotel, you obviously get to go in for, free because you're staying at the hotel. But for us who are just living in Vegas or want to visit, important to note, if you are trying to go into the Oasis ice rink, they are open every single day. They do have different opening times, so just kind of write these down as sort of I'm dictating. Right now, which currently it is December 10th, so now until December 19th, they're open on weekdays from 5 to 11, and then Saturdays and Sundays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Once we hit December 20th to January 5th, which is the day that they close, they will be open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. So that's pretty extensive. But for the most part, you're looking to do this more in the evening time. And once you get there, they do have a charge if you want to go in. So it does cost $25 admission if you are a non-Fontainebleau Rewards member, so if you don't have their player's card. But if you are a Fontainebleau member, which second level for me, you get to go in for free. So you get to actually go in for free, and up to 5 guests to along with you. So make sure you find your really nice friend that's going to take you in and cost you nothing to go into that ice rink. Also, it's real ice, I guess, is a huge deal that they're making about it. But now you know. There is a fee for if you want to skate. There's also, if you go on their website, you can find all the pricing. Essentially, it's $35 for a skating fee, $25 if you're a rewards member, and $30 if you're a Nevada local, military, or first responder. They also have happy hour skate, which is all day, Monday through Thursday, for $15. So if you're visiting in Las Vegas during the week, Monday through Thursday, you can actually skate for only $15, which is actually really, really good. For those of you that are hardcores that have your own ice skates, you still have to pay the fee if you want to skate on the ice. So just keep that in mind. Just because you brought your own doesn't mean you're that fancy. But other than that, they actually have really cool, fun things to do around that area. So they do have movie nights, which typically is, I'll actually read the dates for you, which is December 9th, which is the Santa Claus 2, December 11th, Santa Claus 3, December 16th, which is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. That's the good one. Don't tell my mom that. My mom doesn't like that one because she says it's too violent. Then, honestly, this is kind of funny that I don't like any three of these movies. December 23rd is The Grinch, but not the one with Jim Carrey. It's the animated one, so that one is ass. Sorry, I know that this was a child episode or a winter episode, but I just have to tell you. Then we have December 24th is Elf, and then December 25th is A Christmas Story. So that's sort of their list. So that's basically, once for all the big dates. But man, real bad beat with Santa Claus 2 and Santa Claus 3. Whoever's making the list for the holiday, did they already have one? They must have already had a bunch of movies already because, man, this is... So the 9th would have started on yesterday. Oh my God, what a bunch of terrible choices. Jeez. I'm really disappointed. I wish they would have consulted me. I mean, no Grinch with Jim Carrey. Not Home Alone, the first one. Yeah, Home Alone 2 in there, but not the first one. It's still a Christmas movie. Man, real bad beat with these Christmas films. Love Actually? You couldn't have done that one? Oh my goodness. Anyways, moving away from the movies because it's just really irritating. The things they do have there, they do actually have really cool offerings. They have cool fire pits and cabanas. They do have pricing. So let me go ahead and read the pricing off to you. So the reservations start at $200 food and beverage minimum for 2.5 hours. Man, I always hate that. I always hate that they have a limit on the time that you can be there. 2.5 hours is actually a pretty decent amount of time. I don't think that's too bad. $200 food and beverage is very doable. If you're a group of 4, that's $50 a person. That's not bad. That's actually really good. Oh my God. $200? Oh my goodness. Do that. Just go do that. Get even if it's 2 people. If it's 2 people and you go, that's $200. It's $100 a person. Remember, there's taxes involved. But I would do that. It's not bad. It's a cool little date idea. For 2.5 hours, you get to roast marshmallows and, drink, warm drinks and coffee and stuff. I mean, do it. I'd do it. Hell yeah. So they also have a Christmas tree, which that's always a really big deal. My mom loves Christmas trees. My mom also loves Christmas lights. I learned a lot about my mom the past year, especially during Christmas time. So she loves Christmas movies, and I just kind of I used to look down on it, but it's just that's her thing. Christmas movies are her deal. And then also Christmas lights. My mom loves Christmas lights. That's her thing. So it was really funny because I was actually doing a thing around the strip, and these people said, "Yeah, we're gonna go see the lights," which I always thought was funny because Vegas doesn't do lights, because we're always lit up. So I thought that was a really funny comment that was made. But the cool thing with that is that many of our hotels really go all out for Christmas time or holiday time, if you will. So really wherever you go, just think of all the really nice properties usually have really nice decorations, especially in the lobby. That's always the first one, is the lobby. So Aria has a really big space. They dress up really nice for Christmas time. And then we also have the Bellagio, which you can always check out the Botanical Garden or conservatory at the Bellagio, which right now has a giant Christmas tree. It was always a fun little thing because I would go to the Mansion Casino when I would do tours, and their general manager was always mad because he would say, "Yep, for all MGM properties, we get 2 trees delivered. We try to get the first, but the first one always goes to the Bellagio, and we get the second delivery," which is they always had a huge Christmas tree inside of the mansion. But you can always go to the Bellagio 24 hours a day and check out their Christmas display, or holiday display is what they like to call it. Big giant Christmas tree. It smells like gingerbread because they have big giant gingerbread houses. They have the polar bears from Coca-Cola. And it's actually a really fun little deal to kind of walk through there. So very, very popular. It gets very, very crowded on the weekends. So would not recommend do it on the weekends. But sometimes you're just here during the weekend, you kind of do it. So really great for photos as well. But Caesar's Palace, they go pretty good. They don't go all the way out. But Fontainebleau has a beautiful display right now if you go into their main lobby with this big giant Christmas tree with like oversized presents. It's really, really pretty. And then when you go over to like the Venetian Palazzo, they do have it dressed up a little bit. A lot of places with those big giant like marble stuff, they don't have a lot of space like Venetian, Caesars, which is kind of funny to say because they're very large properties. But they don't have a lot of things going on. I know that Venetian used to have an ice rink in front of the hotel, but I don't know if they actually have it anymore. I'd have to go double check on that. So you'd have to give me a second to try to find that. So just sort of observations about, walking around the strip during Christmas time, because it is really a festive atmosphere. It's probably one of the most festive times of the year for Vegas. So highly recommend coming during your holiday times. Only you got to be careful though. Like right now is the rodeo time. So a lot of the shows take a lot of their breaks during this time of the year because they have country music stars coming in and performing. So they don't always have a lot of the production shows. So just be careful. I mean, by the time this gets out, like you're probably either going to be in Vegas and find that out already, or you're planning ahead. So they'll usually be back by that time. So this is the last week of the rodeo, which is right now it's December 10th. So next week, next week will be kind of back to normal. Just be careful. Just make sure that you plan ahead for any dining reservations, just because if you're planning on going somewhere, you may or may not see that reservation is available because that place is closed. So just be, wary of those type of things. So just look ahead. So I did talk about Oasis Ice Rink over at Fontainebleau, which again, I think is awesome. Looks cool. Highly recommend it. Great for pictures. They're supposed to have a Veuve Clicquot installation, which that's cool. They also have really good offers. So let me look at this here. So you book your stay now with the Winter Wonderland offer at the Fontainebleau, and you receive $75 resort credit to enjoy the festival holiday cheer. So really cool. I mean, that's a nice little promotion they got going on at Fontainebleau. So let's move over to the Cosmopolitan. Let's move over to the good old faithful, which now says MGM Rewards on the top banner. Interesting. Well, they're now bought by them. But moving on. So let's talk about it. So if you want to go to the Cosmopolitan, they have a bunch of different times that they're open. I would basically just say go in the afternoon or the evenings. It looks like weekdays until the 15th, they're open at 4 o'clock until 11. And then on the weekends from 12 to 11 p.m. So 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. And then December 15th to the 5th of January, they're open from 2 p.m. on weekdays all the way up to 11, and then on weekends from 12 to 11 p.m. So again, mostly in the afternoon times. So there is typically not a fee to get into the Cosmopolitan area. It's not a very big space, so I can see why they don't make charge for you. But if you are looking to do skate rentals, it's $30 daily, so you get it for the entire day. And then $20 for locals, military, first responders with their IDs Monday through Thursday. And then $15 skate aid and reindeer rentals, 60-minute rentals. Wow, that's interesting. So keep that in mind. Essentially $30 for a daily pass and $20 for locals Monday through Thursday. That's tough, dude. Couldn't just give us the weekend, huh? Just so everybody knows, the Cosmopolitan ice skating rink gets so busy. It's one of the busiest places for holiday events. But it's actually really fun just because you are essentially in the center part of the strip. Even if you're going just to, look around and sort of hang out, it's a really nice little space. I had one of the best cheeseburgers in my life there. I was having a really bad headache and I ate a cheeseburger and I told the chef, I was like, this is the greatest cheeseburger of my life, which happens when, you're dying. So other than that, they also have their fire pits, which is cool. I've walked by this one a couple times. They also have their chalet, which is also really awesome. It's like a built out thing they do just for Christmas time, which is great for larger groups. Overall, it's really fun. Ooh, what do they got going on here? Oh my goodness, there's more. So they have their Ski Lodge Waffle Hut from pit stop to Apres Skate Bar? Huh. Ski Lodge Waffle Hut. Wow. This is cool. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of reading this while I'm going. So the Ski Lodge is actually their speakeasy inside of the Cosmopolitan, which had a line when I wanted to go last time. Super lame. Whenever a speakeasy has a line, I'm over it. I'm done. No, thank you. But it looks like they're moving this one outside for any of your viewing pleasures. Located located ringside at 10,000 feet above sea level. This retreat is icy cold, continues the ski lodge tradition of offering some of the city's most sophisticated and delicious cocktails. Wow. Look at that. That's cool. Ski Lodge Waffle Hut is open 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. daily at the Cosmopolitan Ice Rink beginning November 28th through the 12th. Interesting. They also have a branded Coca-Cola thing. So a lot of different events going on here. They do have photos with Santa. This is important, very important for anybody who has kids looking to do this. Saturday the 14th, Sunday the 15th, and Saturday the 21st. Photos with Santa from essentially noon until 5 o'clock. Check the website to see what the exact times are because those are different per date, but I can't do all the work for you. So, Cosmopolitan. Really doing it up. I did take a date over to the Cosmopolitan Ice Rink. Really fun time. I am not an ice skater. My feet hurt really bad. I don't know what it is. It just never feels good. They sort of like click on. And it's not my deal, but some people love it. I love going, especially with my nieces and nephews. They have a really good time ice skating. So I like when they come into town and I can go with them to this wonderful ice skating rink. You can find this located near the escalators. So just follow the escalators all the way to the top, and that gets you to the Cosmopolitan pool. Same thing with the Oasis ice rink, because it was kind of a question, how do you get there? So, back to the Fontainebleau ice rink. That one you can find if you go to, you're the main part of the casino. You go up the escalators that take you to Vera Wang or Alexander something. It's a designer. So you're going to go up the escalators once and then up the escalators again. There is a sign that will get you to that ice rink, the pool, essentially. So moving off the strip, we're going to go to the Enchanted Christmas over at the Las Vegas ballpark. This one has a litany of different prices depending on what day you go. Also depending on what time you go. Essentially, it's ranging between $25 and $40 depending on what day you go, what time you go. Just keep in mind, when you get to the calendar, it'll pick a time and you have to pick the time and go from there. So that's kind of all I can talk about that one. But other than that, the Enchanted Christmas is really, really fun. You end up going and there's so many things you can do once you're there. So once you're there, they have all these different activities. You can ice skate. They also have all these different like hot chocolate stations. They have things with like, snacks for wintertime. It's really great for kids. They have all these different prices. So, for example, I picked like a random date. This was December 11th, which is essentially tomorrow, at 6:30. It's also Kids Light Up the Night. Cool. But adults is $34. Juniors, which is between 4 and 17, is $25. Infants are from 0 to 3. They are free. Military is $30. Seniors are $30. There is no local offers because this is a local thing. This place, I've been told, kind of expensive. But people do enjoy it. It's a really large space because it takes place over the entire space of the Las Vegas ballpark. So you essentially walk in, and as you kind of go down, you can see the entire space. But really kid-friendly in a really nice area because it's in, downtown Summerlin. So after that, you can end up going to, walk a little bit more on the outside of downtown Summerlin. You can walk over to Red Rock Casino, which is where I watched. What did I watch? I watched Interstellar at their theater, which if you'd like to hear more about that, go to my Instagram page, Brian_Ortega26, where you can see my little video of what it was like to see Interstellar in IMAX again. So also make sure you check out my other podcast, which is The Magic of Movies with me, Brian Ortega. And I talk about the latest movies out in theaters. I think the latest one is on Wicked, and hopefully I'll be doing one soon on Gladiator Part 2 or Gladiator 2. And talk about the Oscars, just because the Golden Globes came out, today, and might have some reactions. But moving on, back to Vegas. Other than Enchanted, I think another fun thing to do outside of the city is go to the Ethel M. Chocolate Factory Cactus Garden. It's really fun, especially for those of you who love lights. It's really fun, kind of a local thing to do. It's in Henderson, so that's one thing that I would recommend. If you want to go down to Fremont Street has really fun things to do. I think they already did the Santa Run, which is always really popular. And they also have a big giant Christmas tree down there. They usually do like a Christmas party over at the Legacy Club, which is in Circa. So that's really, really, really fun. But yeah, keep on the lookout when you go down to Fremont Street for all those different sort of holiday themed events. But they still rock and roll over at the Fremont Street Experience. Another thing that happens sort of culturally in Vegas is they have the Nutcracker performed. The Nutcracker is performed at the Smith Center, which you can usually find tickets throughout the holiday season. And the Smith Center is our performing arts center, which is where they will have Hamilton later in the year or early of next year, which I'm excited to check that out. But that's what I have to say about the cultural things in Las Vegas. But again, if you want to do more cowboy stuff, you can go down to the South Point. The South Point has their entire parking lot decked out with Christmas lights. My mom loves it. So really, really big fan of that. And yeah, so that's all I got for you guys. I went through a lot of different things to do during Christmas time. Some of my commentary on how I feel about some of the pricing on how these things work, but overall, I've had a really good time. Ooh, I just remembered because before I sign off, I was at Fontainebleau with my friends Andrew and Victoria, and they were awesome. Big shout out to them. We actually had a couple drinks at the Collins Bar, which they have holiday themed menus, which is really good for those of you who really like sort of holiday drinks. They're a little bit different. And they also have a holiday bar, but it was busy because I think it was slap fight night. So, what's it called? Azul? Yeah, Azul, the bar that has nobody in it ever, was full, which is hilarious. But those of us real ones know that place is never full. But maybe they're going to do more theme things in there because, hey, they did a theme and it was full. It was cool. I mean, it was decorated nice. But other than that, it was fine. So that was our episode today, guys. Hopefully you guys liked it. I liked it. I had a good time doing the winter episode. I gave you 3-4 decent options to do while you're in town. And I'm really jealous if you get to go do them because I may only do like one of these things. But overall, thank you so much, guys, for listening. It's been a really fun year doing the podcast. I don't know why I'm doing this now, but still have a couple weeks to go. May not be doing one for New Year's Eve, at least the day of New Year's Eve, but maybe I'll do one a couple weeks ahead in advance so I can prepare you guys for the chaos that is New Year's Eve. So thank you so much for listening to Concierge Confidential. Make sure to check us out on Instagram, conciergeconfidential_LV, or on TikTok at Keys to Vegas, or me personally, Brian_Ortega26. And again, if you see me out in town, make sure to come up and say hello. But remember, keep it confidential.